Sometimes our ego does not want us to realize that it's not really in charge. So you don't have to believe when your ego talks. So if you feel like shit, how's your life? Better and better. Because that's what you're setting your goal to. So now that I got all cameras working, hi, I'm Brenda Jane Power, and this is like the Medicine Woman Solution show. This is about, for Thursday for me in South Australia. A little chilly out, I have to admit. Not used to my summers being cold. But I have to say, coming from a Michigan girl, my summers were, give it 5 minutes, is whatever it is outside. But in Michigan, it'd be winter. So my body says, what are you talking about? We know it's cold. But being in South Australia, this is summer and it should be warm. So my body took some time to recalibrate. Just to let you know that one. Again, I'm not sure who this is. I don't feel like I look like myself. That means that I kinesthetically, I'm not connecting to what I'm seeing. How's that for you? Recently in class, one of the things we talk about is our energetic styles. And I don't know what's going on there. The energetic styles is such an important thing for people to pay attention to. I don't think we'll use that. Hallelujah. No, we're not. Energetic styles. This is, you are a sensory being, and when you create reality, you use them as filters. Not necessarily are you in charge of those filters. Well, a little confusing. That's okay. When you're not stressed, when you're happy and you rest and digest, and when there's joy and love, your sensory system, your eyes, your ears, your taste, your smell, your kinesthetic, your digital, all will work at their most peak performance. And your shit from the past will not be flowing through. But if you drop into an active memory or a program, then if you're tonal, you'll get into a state where you will hear in between the lines, which is something you normally are good at when you're helping a friend or helping yourself. But if you're in stress, you're going to hear something that's not there. You're going to be hearing a filter. You are then going to see pictures of your issues from when you were little placed upon the person in front of you. So they're the stand-in for who the real story was way back when. Yeah, I know this is heavy duty. Wait a minute, some people it is early in the morning. Some people it's okay. But either way, part of us has got to go, excuse me, I need some coffee to understand this. So once you learn, there's complications to all of that, I should say. But once you learn, I'm a kinesthetic, and if I'm feeling with stress, then I'm going to take offense physically more than somebody else. If I'm tonal, I am going to hear taking a stress and taking offense through my ears. And I know what you said, but did I? Or is it just a filter? Thursdays, for me, and some of you it's still Wednesday, it is about you beginning to understand that when you are walking around in your hells. Now, Amy, in a second, I'm going to ask you, give me the definition of what hells are. And the reason that I'm going to teach you this language, it is because as you begin to wake up in this 5D world, you need to have some sort of new way of looking, thinking, feeling, and being. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and you are your authentic self that's looking through ego, which helps bring in consciousness into a physical form. And You are meant to experience life. But if you over-identify with what you're experiencing, then you start creating masks. You start creating the false self. And what does that even mean? It means that you are not who you really are. So you become a program. And this program part of you begins to do what? It begins to take over your life. You get to be haunted by it. You believe everything it says. You think that, and you don't realize, but fear tries to control you. You don't need that. You don't need that. Now, what's interesting is energetically, Amy is experiencing being frozen. She came on and I could see two of Amy. And it's like, is that my vision? No. She can't seem to get in her own alignment. Thursdays is healing days for me. This is set forth that it's about healing your shit, healing your hells. Hells is the way that you identify with your matter. It is a way that you take your state of mind and using your false self to define your life in this particular moment. It is how you are looking through stress and using stress as a way to create your life. It's very unhealthy. It can mess up the body, not just the mind. You're a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual being. Now, we kind of understand what physical abuse is. We kind of understand what mental stuff is and emotional. But what I teach at the Medicine Woman Solution Academy, which will soon be open to the public, is that you're going to be able to see and learn how to see with your spiritual self, your ego life, how you can wake up and get into the third option of life without having to use the ego to hurt yourself, condemn yourself, destroy yourself. You begin to understand that there is a difference between what negative ego is saying, hey, it's criticism, take it. And feedback, well, that's a joke. Where spirit says, if you understand how to read, then you understand that that's how you create steps to move. And there should be no joking, condemning, or blaming of the process of how you naturally begin to progress in life. You shouldn't have to. But if you're doing that, you're using the ego. You're using the mask. You're using your pain. You're using that false identification. Okay? But you don't have to. You really don't. You are a spiritual human. Some of you are going to get woke up very rudely. Some of you, when you hear me, you're like, she's just talking shit. It's because your ego may not let you hear it. When spirit is telling you that this is what the energy is being read, you know it's the truth, but yet you don't want it to be the truth, then understand spirit is going to find a different way to talk to you. You can learn on a whisper, use tools to heal it, listen with your spirit and grow, or you can go back into recycling of the dark night of the soul and be in extreme pain and let your experiences smack you around instead of knowing that the experiences is what you came to do, to make known the unknown. And the only way you're going to know what love is by finding what it isn't, but don't get trapped there and let it own you. You're not ego. You can use ego as a way to create consciousness to make the physical. You can use ego as the lens to help you not only see the physical, but to help you understand your experiences. And when you go through that shitty ass lesson, it is not your enemy. you're getting to see where you gave away your power and you started to create spiritual debt. You'll begin to see, hey, wait a minute. I'm in a lesson and it's hell. Wait, that's the hellish state of mind. Why am I choosing that? Instead of, I'm a victim. This has to happen. You can begin to question your reality, and you don't have to believe everything your ego says. And the more you begin to, wait a minute, I've got learning styles. Yes, you have relationship styles. You have a lot of things you guys have no clue about. You have a right hemisphere and a left hemisphere. Of course I know I got a brain. But did you know they take the picture of what just happened, the experience, completely different? And depending on what your soul contract wrote, that's why there's so many different variations of why somebody can be going through the same thing and have such a different response, a different way of learning it, a different way to look at it. And that's why you have to give yourself a little credit about what you're going through. Oh, that's was. And you have to give yourself a little bit of time and effort and love. Is any of this making sense? More and more of you. Oh, hi, Aim. How you doing? More and more of you are going to experience this bitch slap of wake your ass up time. And I'm trying to tell you that you can do this waking up in a different way. Hello, Ashley. Hello, Mary. Hello, Susan. Hello, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. Hello, Nikki. Now, if you want to understand why your life is turning out like shit, email me. I'll pay attention to you. Because I know then you're asking a question and you want it. I want you to put the effort forward, not just beg and all this. If you really want the answer, you will want it. And you're going to feel yourself wanting the answer. If you are waking up an ego and you don't like what I say, then I'm not for you. But if you need a bitch slap and I have to be the asshole in your life, not happy about doing that, but that's why I'm here then. I must agree to it. You must agree to it. Ah, yes, Diana is correct. She says, no more bitch slaps for me. She says, with grace and ease. And it is. Grace and ease is what you learn. You learn the language. You learn, shit, I'm an ego. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Grace and ease, please. And you begin to learn the different stages. And the more you heal, you use resolution tools, the more you kick in the innate so that your ego just doesn't take over, the more all of a sudden your life starts to improve. And you begin to measure you against you going, 6 months ago. Wow. You know what I mean? 6 months ago. You will begin to feel the difference. Is that true, Amy? You'll begin to notice the difference?
Oh, definitely.
And it's not just an imagination. Amy, would you like to come on?
Sure.
All righty. This is Amy. Say hello to Amy.
Hi, everyone.
And Amy is growing by waking up, by still being quite ego and spirit at the same time. She's looking at it going, how can I do that? Why am I doing that? How am I doing that? But yet, at the same time, she's really getting, fuck, I'm doing that. I'm still doing that. Oh, I want out of that. And then she's not beating herself up quite as much anymore.
No.
And she's like, you know, and when ego starts to condemn yourself and beat yourself up, and when you can begin to notice when those programs take over, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
And does it surprise you now? I mean, because you couldn't see when they did it, but now can you see it? Can you catch yourself faster and faster?
Yeah, I do.
What's the first thing you do now?
I can hear myself
Yeah.
echoing
Oh.
on your end.
Not sure how. Anybody else hear Amy echo? Because I don't hear that. It might be her other speaker, so you may have one more device that has the volume up. She's been doing this whole thing. You know what I mean? I was telling you, she's got 2 pictures of herself. And then it's like she's got now 2 volumes of herself. At least we got 1 picture. And she'll freeze and then she's going. And it's like, so what is Spirit saying to Amy? Why did Spirit say, hey, Amy, would you like to play? And it's not painful. Oh God, but if you're in the hot seat and your ego is, it's gonna hurt and sting, and somebody didn't just light a match, they put the whole damn campfire and you sat in it. Oh, fuck. And we feel for you. Oh my God, Amy. Oh my God, yeah. But if ego was listening, they'd go, God, she's not you. Brenda's such a bitch because she's doing it. She's hurting Amy intentionally. No. Her spirit hears me completely different. And she knows when I have to be tough because she chose it to be heard that way. So, Amy, I'm just going to ask Spirit. Okay, energetically, your polarity is good. You're doing a little bit of magnetic deficiency. So you may want to, hold on to some magnets. But you're going through a particular truth and not truth. That means that your spirit is awakening up to showing you more, and your ego's like, no, you don't say it. No, don't look over here. No, don't look up. No, look, hey. So it's literally messing with you. So your energy is coming out and making all of these different disturbances. Now, does she need her spirit in her body? No. You've been holding your own. Good job. It's what you do toward yourself. You make it complicated. So somewhere you took the energies of yin and yang, and instead of having them fight back and forth, we're just going to turn it in towards ourselves and start beating ourselves up. That's what you're doing. So it's like towards self. What age are you referring to? Oh, 6 years old. Tell me more. And it became a habit. Now it's interesting because they show me looking through your eyes, and everyone's the enemy. I don't want to share. You're taking my things. You're laser beaming.
Kindergarten.
What? Huh? Kindergarten. Tell me about it.
I did not like kindergarten.
Who doesn't like kindergarten? Apparently you. Tell me how you know that.
It's just that when you were 6 years old, everybody wanted to play with what I wanted or what I was playing with.
Good job. Keep going. Keep going.
It's like, no, I'm playing with this. You can't have it right now.
So somebody always taking my stuff?
What was that?
Is somebody taking my stuff?
Yeah.
I don't want to share because there's not enough. Did you believe there's not enough?
Oh, yeah.
And that there's no way, because what would happen? See, now this is what happens with a 6-year-old, because I asked the 6-year-old, there's that awkward feeling that you had it. It was good. You had the attention. You had it. And then you had this awkward feeling that you couldn't understand. You looked out, saw them as the enemy. Why? Because, so you were repeating something that happened inside the womb. That's not even yours. That's your bio mom's. All right. So is this a conception? Yes. A prenatal conception. Do you have a magnet, Amy? Oh, look at her. Completely ready. Love that girl. Okay. So according to this, it is... All right, because we got to write down the word. Okay, I got to write it down. Particular outcome. I'm going to have to, folks, get myself paper because, good Lord, I need reams and stacks of paper. I somehow go through it so fast. Aha! particular outcome, before we go any further with this prenatal, so we'll have to write down prenatal conception. And this is what's stuck in her, what's called a, from the perineum up the spine, up to here, and there's a spot inside the back of the throat. That is the governing meridian. Now, this is a straight line up. Divides you right in half, okay? And inside of that is where we can get certain emotions that are so deeply trapped from other places that we have not even aware that we're doing. Okay, so particular outcome. Oh, let me tell you what kids do about this. They don't want to change their behavior for nothing. Now, notice what I just said. Change their behavior. Have you ever had kids, any of you, that was, I want that, I want that. And there's that particular outcome. They don't care if they throw tantrums, they run around naked, smash things. They want that. Whatever that is, they want that. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, boy, you had I've seen a couple experiences, but then you've also had a couple experiences, not just with kids you've been with, but you just had a recess memory of something of, I can see that's how I've used my ability to get what I want sometimes.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, okay. Use that ability. Now, notice how as children, you've heard of movies, The Parent Trap, different things. I can't remember some of these movies now, but where the child learns how to use an ability to get what they want. Oh God, there's no mother out there that knows that. Okay. They can't change their behavior for the life of them. It doesn't matter how much you punish. It doesn't matter how much you take away, how much reward system you try. Because when that child is like, I want that, I want that, I want that, they're like a broken record. And it just, okay, that is the tenacity. That is the determination. That is strength. And that is an ability. Well, isn't that good? Well, if you're an ego, yeah, because then you're going to try to fight for what you want. But let's look at what what is it the child, why does it want? What does it believe? If I don't get this, what's going to happen? If I don't get this, what's going to happen is I'm going to go into erratic behavior. Oh, so they already know how they're going to behave if they don't get it. Well, if I have to go that far, fine, I'll go that far. Okay, so now what I'm asking her soul again is, have you ever experienced when somebody took it? Yes, and I never want to feel that again. Oh, good. What is that feeling that you never want to feel again? Taking. Oh, so you have stability. It's like a junkie. That drug, you're stable. It's perfect. It's complete. It's a hug. It's everything to me. And if you take it away, I'm going to become unstable. And it's the unstable feeling I never want to experience again. In this case, we could call it awkward. But your little self first felt that. How many months inside the womb? 6 months. Now, just for a moment, think like your bio mom. You're in the womb. They're going to take that one thing that was making her stable. Do you know what that one thing is?
Me.
Exactly. Can you feel how she was forced to live the life what other people wanted? And she's been trying to scramble since then to not think. She doesn't want to feel that. She doesn't want to go there. But she will. She'll, just like every human, gets caught in this loop. But you, my child, have been living that same program. That's not even yours. But you chose that as part of your soul thing to learn. You were deeply wanted. You knew it. You've been trying to chase that down, that addiction. I need to find what that is again. You haven't quite found it with anybody or anything, but you can always tell as you chase that next high, trying to find that one time. You can't ever recover that one time, but you can resolve out how you believe you lost it. How you believe you gave your willpower, you accepted, you gave it your willpower, you believe it, you gave it your life force, creating spiritual debt, because it's that one little moment in time. And you believe the pain. And the pain gets stored. Because you knew it. I knew it. God damn it. I knew it. I was loved. I want that back again. Who took it? You've had, I forgot how old you are, but you've had many years.
48.
Yeah, because remember, it's 6 months in the womb. 48 years of one track. What fires together, wires together. She's had to see it countless ways with many different actors playing a different part. Because you can't really recreate that 6 months in the womb. She's not going to climb back in the womb and have that. You know,
Well,
yeah. I kind of outgrew that one. But you didn't really outgrow that experience. And that experience holds her captive. Her ego says you now have to be prisoner of this because this was so real that we have given it our all. And that means her life force to that moment. And she has to keep reliving it through the concept of time in the moment of this space because we believe it's true. Now, how does her brain keep predicting that? Because it has pictures through the sensory system. It has emotions. It measured it in some form as real. And the brain only knows that. So it's like, this is all I know. That's all I know. And so when it goes and looks for that thing, oh, you got your cup in front of you?
my unicorn cup? No.
Oh, show me something you love right in front of you.
I don't have anything right in front of me.
Oh, okay. But when you take an object, half of you don't even know what this is. You're like, it's meaningless to me. It has no meaning. I don't even know what the hell that is. So I got no connection. I have no desire for it. But the moment you know a little bit of information that these are magnets, and that it's a cool way to hold on to magnets that roll. And what's unique about it is that if I use it in my energy field, I can actually roll out negative emotions. I could use it on different parts of my body to change the magnetic field because I'm an electromagnetic being. Now, does it have more meaning to you? Mm-hmm. Does it kind of make you want it to some degree?
Mm-hmm.
That could kind of make me whole. But at one point, it meant nothing. So at some point, you accepted. You believed in it. You gave away your willpower just enough to say, I want that. But when you take a painful experience and you place that in front of you, and you're it's shaking your nerves. Every part of your cells are going, OMG, whether it's good or bad. Your observing self couldn't stop observing and giving it meaning. The feeling, the experiences, gave it meaning. Your ego was trying to delete, distort, and generalize because it's all over the place, and you can feel this insanity. And you're like, I don't want to fucking break. I want this to stop. And the more you thought about it, if you were a digital, the more you thought about it, the more you thought about it, the more you're logical, the more you're okay. So you learn how to calm yourself down. But you just created and fired a wired a track to go into the caudate nucleus, to go further into the gray matter of your personality. And you created your frontal lobe saying that this is how I have to create my reality. Why am I going so deep for you all? Because I want you not to have to feel like you're in prison of your thoughts, that you have to be held prison by your emotions. You are an innate spiritual being beaming your ass into this physical form, because ego has to take a place of being the lens so that you can create consciousness into a physical realm. But the moment you're observing self, observed and over-identified with matter, which means you're looking at vibrations and energies that are moving and slower and changing. But if you don't know that, then you're just going to be caught in this matrix. But when you start to wake up, and a lot of you are going to be beginning to wake up spiritually, and you won't know what the F is going on, you need to begin to notice the difference between the two mindsets, ego and spirit. You're going to beginning to learn. A new education needs to be taught. In the innate healing ability that's within you is so ready to help you to resolve, to evolve. Because now we can. Going back to Amy, we know that you have a prenatal conception. We know that it is a particular outcome. Now we have to find out the emotion. Yes. And it'll usually be one. Now, sometimes we can have a psychic trauma, which is 2 or 3 emotions felt more all at once, locking itself into a form. And trapped emotions, even though the governing meridian governs it, it can be anywhere in the aura, the body, anywhere. It can be any sizes. And the bigger it is, the more energy we feed it, the more we keep it alive, the more pain physically we could have. It distorts, the blueprint gets distorted, and we can have physical issues. So as I look at this emotion, they're saying that it is feeling inadequate. Kind of going back to awkward. And inadequate. I gotta spell it right first. Hold on, people. My brain is not following along. My spirit is like going, we forgot how to spell that. Whatever. Can you feel this? Does this have more meaning to you now?
Mm-hmm.
When you look at when you're 6 years old, you did not want to feel that instability ever again. And that according to you, it wasn't even yours. And did you hear me, people? Most of the things that we go through are borrowed, or our body mimics, or our immune system becomes it because that's the environment. You're beginning to wake up and learning how to take ownership of your energy. You're learning how to respond. That's responsibility. You're learning to respond according to what you're going to choose to do with your energy. So let's get this out of there.
Okie doke.
There's a party that's like, damn, I was loved. Now, so many walls have been built that, so many stories have been created. You're going to roll this out 10 times. And you're going to take, and I'm going to work on this mirror on this end. Okay? And you're going to start and you're going to say prenatal conception, particular outcome inadequate. Prenatal conception, particular outcome inadequate. Prenatal conception, particular outcome inadequate. Ooh, particular. Ooh, I can feel that one. Prenatal conception. Oh, keep talking. Oh, particular outcome inadequate. Damn. Prenatal conception. Oh, I see. Okay, she just keeps rolling. Don't quit. I'm feeling every part of her cells that are just like going, and I'm energetic. Oh, a bitch, whore. I'm sorry. I don't mean to swear. Oh my God. It is just, holy, just shut up and just say the words. Prenatal conception, particular, particular outcome inadequate. Okay, we're just going to do inadequate, son of a bitch. Oh, I have lost completely count. Inadequate. Oh, we're calming down. Prenatal conception. Oh, fudge. The prenatal outcome inadequate. Prenatal conception, particular outcome inadequate. We're going to do 2 more. Fudge bitch for I can't. Ah! You really have that in your aura. I'm not supposed to stop, but I'm just going to work straight in that aura. Prenatal conception, particular outcome inadequate. Prenatal conception. There we go. There it is. Inadequate. Okay, that's going to take a while. Oh, God. Maybe that's why we took the thing out, because I've got a nerve. And I'm trying to help recalibrate you. Because if your nerves are not ready, you wouldn't accept it. So just drink water. Make sure you have a lot of, if you can get a lemon, apple cider vinegar and lemon. We need to help clean out the blood and the nerves and everything else. And you're going to learn to fluff your aura. Because you did it to yourself. You turn the energy inward. That means your ego says, okay, inadequate. But your spirit says, gotcha, ego. Now you're going to write down inadequate. You're going to be able to define it, start seeing it, start recognizing it. It could feel like awkward, but you have a choice. Whether you want to keep responding on autopilot, or you can learn the tools to kick it in the ass and take your power back. You can learn to say, I'm done letting you own me. I'm done letting you keep defining that. Fluffing your aura. Your aura, see, it's just not wide enough. The tips of your fingers is just, your normal aura. Just imagine a sphere that goes out this far. And you can, when you think positive thoughts, it goes farther. And if you really want to, you could encompass the whole world. Why? Because it's a hologram. But you can make a major difference when you learn how to be happy and use your aura. So your aura, and I'm going to, if you were in front of me, I would measure is right here. It stops right here. Even when you think happy thoughts, you'll have bursts of it only based on vortexes. We'll talk about those eventually, especially in the academy. But you, right here, you have nothing beyond that. And this is where you turned it in within yourself. Okay? Because it's safe. That's it. Celtic weave and all of that helps, but I want you to learn how to fluff. You're going to pick it up and you're going to rotate it like cotton candy. You're going to pick it up. Okay? Yeah, I'm half-assing it. Sure, I'll just copy her. Feel it, girl! I'm going to pick it up. Woo, it's really light. Shit. Or it's, oh my God. Yeah, God damn it, I'm supposed to rotate this shit. Oh, yeah, it is shit. So you're going to make it fluffy. You're going to fluff that freaking aura out. You're going to put it up your head and you're going to peanut butter it down. Okay? And you're going to make sure you get your back ass part of you fluffed. I want you to feel it. And then when you start to use your heart, you're going to start feeling it come out. See, did you just do an energy shift? Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, well, we got it out to here. So you need to fluff a little more, young lady. Fluff, fluff. Yeah, don't. Oh my God, the little jokester in my head is going, what? A fluffer? Shut up. Ah! Stand in the corner. Yeah. I know. My mind is okay. Shut up. Now fluff it again. And you just and this is where you can also do figure eights, because you have figure eights into your system. And you're going to, and then like you may all of a sudden feel that inadequacy. Okay, so you're going to fluff it out. You don't have to believe that anymore. See, there, now you just came out. Now you got to be able to hold this. That means you got to become aware. Oh, I'm starting to feel like shit. I better fluff my aura. You may be thinking, that's just stupid. That's ego telling you shit. Fluff it. Your lungs are seeing different. That's good.
That's even feeling different.
I feel like maybe some inner crying, but you won't notice that until toxins are ready. That's why you have to drink some lemon or lemon and lime water or apple cider vinegar and lemon. If you do the ratios just right, you won't notice how any of the, you'll do good.
No. I love that stuff.
So, thank you very much for playing with me. And hopefully, in the meantime, y'all have decided you want me to read you. You want me to help you. Because that's what Thirst is about. Now, if you want a paid one, that means you can have more than 6 minutes. You can have 8 minutes up to 10. Especially if you want to come into the Zoom room. That Zoom room is not hard to do. I mean, download Zoom, join room, type in the number, and voila, you can be here with me. We can really... Why? Why is it so important to do it live? So that you don't have to deal with delays. But you don't have to do that either. We could do it like this. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult because this is about working with the energies, working with making sure you're doing it. And see, she was doing it half-assed because she doesn't quite understand the value. But when she begins to feel that, and she's like, oop, aura down, fluff it, peanut butter it. Diana says, I've been doing apple cider vinegar, lemon juice every morning. And you're going to know, if you had a Fitbit or Fitbit. What the hell is that language? If you Fitbit, if you had,
I'll skim you later, Betty, and tell you what I do with it.
Yeah. So the ratio is up to your taste. I put a little bit of each in, and depending on building it slow to building it to you can tolerate it more. Start off small. Now, sometimes you can put a little salt with it, but don't everybody, because a lot of people may have salt issues. Add some honey, but not everybody can tolerate that because they're diabetic or whatever it is, whatever belief systems that it can interfere with their health. So the two ratios will depend on you. And I started off doing a teaspoon of each. And then I found out the best for me. Because it's my taste buds. And for a person that can't smell, taste buds help you smell. Well, anyways, with the watch I have, it measures my resting heart rate with activity. And Amy's just checks it on the resting heart rate. Now, I don't know how hers does, except for I can tell you that when my blood or my body is stuck in a state of toxic part of it, my resting number will change. I had to start a different medicine. Then all of a sudden, my resting heart rate that usually is 68 can go up to 74. I mean, my heart is doing its best to handle the toxins. I can tell you when I'm stressed because the regular heartbeat will just go ape. And that's where you start to breathe and calm down. Okay. Yeah, see, you can work yourself up to 2 tablespoons, but just be patient with yourself. There is no race except for just knowing. So I usually had drink about 2, and I fill up with a bunch of water. I don't even measure. I squirt, or squirt and pour, whatever it is. And, lemons, you can use concentration, you can use regular lemons, either way. People will tell you the arguments of either one, but that has to do with your beliefs, your preferences, whatever you choose. Apple cider vinegar, I will use the mother, what has the mother in it, because I feel that it's not as diluted. It is the more natural. It is not as contaminated. It's not controlled. It is this beautiful natural part. And that's the part I know I need. Okay. But with lemons, I haven't really noticed the difference. Energetically, you will all feel different. So, if I would say go talk to a doctor, but if you can find a naturopathic doctor, they may have a better standard one that they may describe, or whatever they do, prescribe. I'm telling you by what I've learned, and that energetically it helps. Physically, go read upon it, go talk to a doctor, whatever. But also, you don't have to just take everybody's word. You can begin to find and play. This is where you find value. And the value is what helps that experience instead of wasting it. Okay. Thanks, Amy. Anybody's emailed?
We've got a bunch of them.
Excellent. Let's get cracking. Whoops, I need that.
Okay, 26. Make sure it was the right day.
Now remember, some of you have been emailing me on my old email account. I can't get to it unless I have to dismantle this computer, which the format. And so that's why we created one so Amy can access while I'm doing the show.
Okay. Nicole Bangs. Do you see me starting a relationship soon? If you can't read that, then just a general reading, please. Thank you, Nicole.
And so basically she wants to know if she's going to be starting a relationship soon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have to remember, we want to know those, but if you're yearning, longing, and on a deep emotional level, then you're going to keep putting off the thing that stands before you. So, is there any suitors around the corner? Yes. How many? There's about 8 suitors, 8 people that are ready. They're in more line with who you are right now. Will they be drawn to her? Yes. Will she let them in? Yes. And will it be very soon? Yes. Days, weeks. Well, you've already seen a couple, but you haven't been able to see them based on the fact that you, which way? Tunnel? No. Expectation? No. Standards? No. Not open. You're not open because of a pain. What age? 2 years old, you had a pain, and it was based on how you felt toward yourself. So it has body. So do you have a poor body image? Okay. And you got many variables above your head, and Richard, these are choices. I just told you the choices. Will you have, if you can get past your issues, heal those issues, reduce those things, will you have a relationship soon? You have to stop separating yourself from particular people. You have to begin to look. See, they're really telling you need to begin to look at something. And they said that there's a part about making the effort. How do you define what it means to make the effort? Do you make them to make all the effort? Or do you have to see a few signs first before you can allow that energy in? And sometimes we have heart walls and things like that up. And I'm just going to say, what else? And they said, so look at how your values are. Do you believe that I want a wedding? Or do you believe, no, I'm not going to marry like my mother did? You got conflict going on with a belief system somewhere. So, and you could attract them based on certain aspects, and then you're going to learn a particular lesson. You just showed me. There's two people that are approaching themselves, but one of the particular lessons has to do with how you think about yourself. And again, notice that I'm not going to sit there, and I don't want to give you a post-hypnotic suggestions, but take a look at, do you say nice things about yourself? Do you criticize yourself? Do you abuse yourself in any way? Do you do any of these things? Understand that's going to interfere with having and developing a long-term relationship. Next.
Nikki.
Nikki. Anything in particular? No? Okay.
No.
What's interesting, my friend, is I see guilt. And as I'm looking, is your polarity off? Yes. And one of the things that happens, is it because of medication? No, it's because she knows what her diagnosis was. Guilt gets pushed around with erratic behavior. So part of that moment we were talking about was the guilt that you put towards yourself and how you use it to train yourself to behave a certain way. They said you also need to write that down, that there's guilt, and then put the word impending doom. Why? Because it has to do with removing that guilt, but you got to safely remove it. And remember, guilt is a have to. So should I call? Should I do this? And those have tos can come in and kick you in the ass. So you need to begin to use, which EFT, guilt towards yourself, guilt. And so you have a broadcast message. You want her to roll it out? No, you want her to begin to notice that you're yelling at yourself. Be guilty, Nikki. Just listen to how that voice and say, no, I take my power back from it. Now, using a particular healing tool, you could just do the, oh my God, okay? Just this one. And keep it there until you feel the guilt being zero. Oh, wait, stop. My question is, will I have children? And if so, when? Okay. The question is, will she have children? And with that in particular in mind, will she have children? So energetically, we got to put you back, but will she have children? They said trust. They said have an abundance. So you have great opportunity, but you have to learn how to communicate with yourself more clearly in your body. If I asked when, and that is you have you have 8 months of work. Don't look at time, because if you look at time, you're going to drive yourself crazy. But you got 8 months to sit there and start to really get your body back into play. Because when you start to get your body back into play, then you won't be disapproved of, because there was a belief system I heard that you made that decision when you were 18. I'm never having kids. If you felt like you've ever thought that, or you believe because someone told you that you can never have kids because of the condition, or whatever it is, or you shouldn't have kids, I want you to hear that belief system and kick it to the curb, because that guilt alone will drive you. Vicky says, damn girl, you're channeling my dirty mouth. Okay, you okay, honey?
I just got a claw halfway into my bone, but yeah, okay.
All right, so who was up next? Who was that?
Yes, Patty.
And did she have any question, or was it to still answer that other one? Don't know.
Shows anything.
All right. So when I gave her a reading, before I go any further, when I tell you that people have disdained, or people have, you've done it. When you're an ego, you're going to go, what? Who? oh, I got to cut them out of my life, or you need to define what the word disdain is, because if you have ever felt heard in this paradigm out here, the paradigm will make it so that it just sounds like an everyday conversation. And when you're beginning to wake up from those particular behaviors, and your ego needs to learn that it is just the ego and you don't have to over identify with it, then you don't have to go in and go, who did it? Because that's ego. You have to notice that you're going to keep producing people to do it because it's an unresolved issue that needs to be addressed. So when I'm looking at Miss Patty, we're looking energetically that it is how, this is where it's difficult, but it's about karma. Karma per se is not always, oh, I did something bad in my past life, therefore I have to pay for it and do all that. It is the everyday karma balancing. And that, if you're doing a good deed, but you do it not willingly, then you have to remember the 4 archetypes: the prostitute, the self-saboteur, the victim, and the child. And you're then going to end up creating yourself to have karma to keep repeating, like with the word disdain, you have to keep repeating until you decide that you're not going to take offense, that you're not going to do it out of that, and you don't have to be feeling out of obligation. You can learn how to balance it. So like if I'm giving, and I believe that it's better to give than receive, you're going to have the issue of karma issues to understand that you have to balance those two, or you're going to have to keep repeating that. So you don't want to have to constantly keep playing this game. Okay? So for you, Miss Patty, you have got to understand that you are going through not a dark night of the soul, but you're going through a transformation of learning that there's certain ways of talking, hanging out, comfort zone-ish, that your soul is saying, that energy is not going to work in this new mindset that you're creating. You may decide that you don't want that anymore. But if you're not awake enough to see this, then you're going to start seeing it as, oh, somebody's hurting me. Oh, you'll go through where you prostitute. You have to sell yourself short. You have to be victim. It's happening to me. A self-saboteur is that I can't have it because, whatever, there might be pain. And a child of whatever it is the child had to do to survive itself. So you got to wake up, but wake up with grace and ease and have spirit help you and use healing tools. Okay, next.
Mary Ann Coughlin, and she's wondering what's coming towards her in the near future.
Well, remember, this is the energetic part of you. So I'm going to be looking at a physical healing aspect. The thing that keeps repeating into you is that the energy of helplessness. Now, you're like, but I'm not helpless. Consciously, it's like, I know how to do this. I know. No. Energetically, it is going to interfere with any good stuff that's coming to you. Everybody has good shit coming to them. If you want me to read your future, and I'll show you the quantum field, God, there's a whole bunch of good shit coming your way. And that's what we want to hear. But if you're not aligned with it, then you are going to have to understand that you are repeating something, and that's what you should address. Energetically, your polarity keeps going out. That means you can feel good that you're balanced, and all of a sudden you start to feel, And I ask, well, why does the polarity keep going out? And they says, well, it's about taking the blame. It's a habit about self-preservation. In order for me to survive this moment, like in my one relationship, ever since I was a kid, it was in order for people to stop their erratic behavior, their pushing of their words, and they're going to tell me I had to just take the blame for them to shut up because they were going to keep pushing me until I bled. And when I began to heal out how I take the blame and that emotion, And as I began to change that, my energy in me went out and changed the people in front of me. So that when they were doing that, you take the blame thing, gang, because that's what we do. And you taught me that I could do this to you. No, a healthy boundary came up and goes, I don't have to do that anymore. Well, don't you care about this relationship? Do you? If you do, then understand you're doing something that's unacceptable to me. But it is also, and this is what's a huge part, when you begin to wake up, this is for almost everybody. It's called an arrested development. And it is, you can't seem to grow past a certain point. And it is do or die moment. It is the impending doom that I'm going to die if I stand up for my rights. Or I'm going to die if I have to do this. I mean, it literally can yank you. When I had to finally stand up, I've fought back, I've done this, nothing. And then the drastic part was I'm going to behave so differently than I did before. And I'm going to stand by my own words. I stood up and I said, I'm on strike. And they thought, oh, well, we'll get mom to do what she wants. We'll get my wife to do what she wants. What I want. Blah, blah, blah. And I said, no. And when I couldn't move, I became the stubborn bitch. How I don't care and love for my family. I thought, shit, this must be working. But in the meantime, I was like, I'm going to die because I'm going to do this. I mean, that arrested development had me so controlled. And I was shaking and I'm like, I'm going to do it. My mouth goes, I'm on strike. I'm not helping you until you learn how to help yourselves. And I remember shaking and I'm sweating and my whole body went through the whole process. And Spirit says to me, guess what? You're not dead. Yeah, I didn't die. Oh, that fear really made me think I was going to die over that. And then all of a sudden I kept hearing, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. And I'm like, what? They're mad. That means you're choosing to show up with your energy different. And they don't like it because they want you back to who they could control. Okay, now, who was I giving a reading to that I needed to do that I don't think I did, but Spirit had a whole spiel it had to go through?
Marianne.
All right, Marianne. I can't remember if I gave you one or not, so we're just going to legitly say this. Yes, your polarity. So it keeps doing this. But they say just begin to notice this cat and mouse game or whatever you want to call it. But it's a habit. It's like, wake up, same shit. Wake up, same shit. They says they need you to wake up because your future is good. It's just that you are feeling that you feel like you have to be silently brooding or that you have to go into a certain wave of being invalidated because that's part of the story. That's part of the matrix. That's part of, it's not the truth, but that's part of what the program says. But you're learning, your spirit says, if you learn how to become an I you instead of an I it, you be more than an object. You're going to soar, girlfriend, and you're going to have that future beautiful and bright because you're going to learn how to stop taking and sending out that energy that says, I have to feel like this and be that. You're going to heal that out to the point where it's like you're going to send out energy that says, I believe this. And you're going to see it. You're going to see what I see, which is your joy. You're going to get more aligned to it. But you can't stop falling for how the ego talks. Next. Asha. Wonderful.
And she would like to learn, and I'm willing to listen to guidance. Yours, thankfully, to guide.
Oh, you're cutting out. Doggone it. Try it again.
Okay. I would like to learn, and I am willing to listen to guidance.
Okay. About what? Anything?
And she says, yours, thankfully, for your help.
Okay. Asha. Remember, set your goal for joy and happiness. Notice how many times a day you'll feel like it disappears. Just notice how many times a day you believe that the joy is missing. The joy is there, but you're investing into all of this mindset, this feeling, this shit that's happening, the experiences, and you have to decide if you want those anymore. You are an I. You are spirit, and you deserve love. You are love. It's learning to take action, learning to make yourself important, putting that oxygen mask on first, and that you can create stability. Now, you need healing tools. You're going to go to medicinewomansolution.weebly.com, and you're going to learn how to pick yourself up off the floor. Because people will, which one? Seeing, hearing. Your nose really picks up people's vibrations, and you go into an old pattern. So you're going to learn how to pick yourself up on the floor when shit happens. And you're going to learn how to use the Oh My God one, and that's your baby step tool. Understand it. The page will tell you, measure, feel it, change it. I mean, you keep staying in the negative thinking. As long as you're doing the tool while you're doing the negative thinking, your body will heal itself. Now, if you have no tool, but you're going to negative think because you're going to delete, distort, and generalize and think it away, you're just going to hardwire it in so that you have to keep sending out the issue of bring that shit to me again. I wasted it. Bring that shit to me again. Now, apply a tool. Go through the shit. Your brain and your body, you're an electromagnetic being, will begin to heal itself. And then the more that you were attached to it, you become detached. The more that you had lost your power, you start to gain your power. Because it's not about that I'm going to conquer. It is about owning your energy so that you can function as a spiritual human. Next.
Susan.
Now, again, if you guys want healing, you're more than welcome to. It's $23, and you can come up on the video. And what am I doing? I pushed the wrong button. Ooh, almost ended the wrong. Oh, let's grab the right mouse. Never mind. Susan, nothing in particular.
No.
The word exacerbation. What gets exacerbated? What gets... I feel like this is done to you. Somebody exacerbates something, and you hit the crescendo, which means you feel it. I just feel like your body goes, you can feel it. And then you get caught up, you can hear it. And it's like you get really wrapped into a movie or a story. And then, it's like the scary part. And you're like, fuck, And as they said that, but your heart is like, there's about how you have a habit that is, there's a lot of panic, and this wipes you out. But I don't know if you're aware of it. They just said it's part of your identity. And sometimes when it's an identity, like for instance, I carry panic in my throat. It didn't hit me until I realized I carry panic in my gallbladder meridian, which causes me to, certain parts of me just to go into panic, which changes my spine, which changes my throat. It changes the way I breathe because I never got unstuck from that moment. I got some really good information about that. But it's notice. Find that word. Use a healing tool. medicinewomansolution.weebly.com. Begin to notice. Take your power back. Stop. If you're really involved, back away and say, do I have to really be involved? Like I'll be watching a movie and I'll be like, oh, and my husband will look at me, grab my hand, and he knows that when I get too involved, my ego's too involved, he'll have to talk me down. It means he's really good with that. And so he will do his little talk, and the next thing you know, it's like, I feel better. Thank you. I love you. He says, but you're still not in your body. I know. Hold on. And I'm waiting for the day you come over and go, okay, honey, go ahead. Feel. Okay, next.
Okay. This is for Miss Vicky, and she sent me a text.
Okay.
Hi. I somehow got pulled back into the story about my friend dying, possibly murdered, and I am supposed to write about it. I can't figure out if it's my ego telling me or if it's spirit and my ego is trying to shut out what I'm seeing. Can you ask Brenda about this?
All right. So she's reliving what happened at 5 as far as I'm not supposed to trust myself. They know better. They know. And a part of her trusted, and then she started to trust the outside more, and that she had to shut herself down. So she has a broadcast message to some degree of, you can't trust yourself, it's wrong. And the beratement of the words coming into her space caused her to take action to do something differently. And I'm going to ask, is she supposed to write? Is that what the question is basically? Is she supposed to write, get involved again? Oh, it's part of your process to have to do this. And they said, learning to communicate clearly, because you shut that off so long ago. Energetically, your ego wants to come in, and you're wrestling with that dark night of the soul because your spirit says, but what if it's, and it is overcoming a no. You have to overcome the no, because before your spirit says, we got to do this, we got to do that. And then you have to overcome the no. It's like, no, I can't trust my spirit because they know better than me. And you're in the middle. The best way for you to handle this is to hold R3S, because it makes you go into that moment of being a 5-year-old that you're unworthy to have your own voice, and that you can actually be an important character in this world of your own world. So I would do R3S, heal out that conflict, and then see, remember, get it down to 0 and see as you revisited this situation, and then you'll be more clear. The other point that you're going to have to hold is L1D, because your heart was broken to some degree when you had to, your heart says, I have to fight with myself. That becomes the story. I have to fight with myself. And again, it goes back to 25. You have to fight with yourself in order to do what they want. You're in the middle of healing that out. So L1D, how you have to fight with yourself, you to stop being creative in what means you have to have creative insecurity. You can't go there. It's like a self-sabotage. But anyways, that's what you do. Asha says, thank you. I really appreciate that. And it makes perfect sense as I do pick up people's vibration. Oh, yeah. I can't know if I can make it bigger. I need more tools to protect my energy and pull me out of negative thinking. Yes. And one of the things you can do, Asha, all of you, if you don't have a mate like my husband that does that, like there are times that, I'll get my brainwave, I'll bring it down. I'm in that alpha state and tuned everything else out. And the movie screen is really good. I made the unreal real. And my husband then, touches me so that I can feel anchored. And then he communicates words to me like, honey, that's just a movie. It's okay to have those feelings, but that's what they wanted you to have. And it's good that you can relate. And then he'll tell me a joke, or he'll say, that's not real. They're just actors. They're getting paid to die. And all of a sudden my brain goes, hey, what? And then I'm coming out of that alpha state back into the beta, because as I'm in alpha, I go into the fear, which then goes into high beta. And it's like, wait, what? And then I have to process out the emotion, and usually I'll use, oh my God, or hope therapy. But Asha, learn to do Celtic Weave. Again, go to the website. Learn to do Celtic Weave. Learn how to connect heaven and earth. Learn how to do Wayne Cook to balance that brain. learn how to do a zip up. And I would say learning to fluff the aura. Now, I didn't put that on my site yet, but learning to fluff the aura. I don't think I got peanut butter up there either, but learning to separate that energy. But you can use cord switching as a way to disengage. That healing tool is there. Picking yourself up off the floor. That is a great healing tool. But these other tools are meant to help kick the energies out and to make you strong again. The brain needs to become in balance. Came back to being balanced. Weird sound. I'm hoping that's just me, or is that a clue for the next person? Somebody's paid, which is awesome. If I can get to the right screen. Sharon, yay! What is that? I don't know. Does this have to do with Sharon? Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess Sharon. When you're ready, dear. Oh, well, thank you. She says purple looks good on me. Oh, cannot Zoom. Okay, cannot. Okay, Zoom number. I will get it for you, sweetheart. She's in there. So I'll read it to you. 121 893 288. That's 121 893 288. 121 893 288. Now, hopefully, she's heard that. We'll see. Huh?
When I sat down here tonight before we started the show, my back was at a 10 plus.
Pain?
Okay.
In
the normal spot where it normally hurts.
Okay.
It's maybe a 2.
Why is that?
Because we got rid of some more shit.
Oh, was it when you came on?
Yeah.
Wow. Just sometimes the realization alone. Isn't that interesting? It went all the way back to the womb. So your 6-month-old self in the 40-some-year-old body was saying, "Oh, how am I supposed to feel, Amy?" Now, during that time while we're waiting for Sharon. Oh, she didn't see it. Is there any way you can text Sharon? No. Okay. Anyways, I'll tell her in a minute. Oh, no, she's made it. I want you to think about, go look in and see if you can see that 6-month-old self inside the womb. You just have to just check in with that consciousness and see if she's happy or sad. And if she's sad, this means more work. Here we go. Yay. Hi, darling. Oh, I got to get you unmuted. There we go. Talk.
Hi.
Yay. Hi. How are you?
When you showed that up on the screen, it was backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Good thing you read it, because that's the only screen it does that on. The other ones, I can read it.
Yeah, I've tried no matter what on that phone. Even the little button that says it's supposed to turn it around won't work. And it's just, they're just lack of communication. So, but yes, you did
I
it.
couldn't read it on the other one either, so that's why I went to this one.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I could always, rearrange it somehow. But anyway, hi, darling. How can I help you?
All right. I got a vacation day today. That's why I'm home.
That would make sense. Okay. What can I do you with?
I'm not sure what Spirit has up for me tonight, but I know yesterday there's a guy at work that I really can't stand. He's a boss. And I'm trying really hard to not verbalize how I don't like him.
Okay.
And it's difficult. So I need to rechannel somehow.
Yes. Now this is very beautiful. It's perfect because she knows me enough now that she knows that her soul is asking her to deal with this shit. Because can you heal it now? Can you heal it now? And you're like, oh, no. Okay, you know what? I'm done being angry. I'm undone. Sure. Okay. Brenda, could you just tell me? Yes. You needed him to show up to you because it's injustice. Would you say there's injustice going on?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Well, let me go back. Oh, turn the timer on. Let me go back. At 3 years old, you experienced injustice. Now, they're going to tell me something interesting because they said that the injustice has to do with the root chakra, and the injustice has to do with the front third chakra. In this case, it's about getting that spiritual wisdom. It's like, I fucking don't want to. I'd rather be angry. So you're having an ego battle there. And your first chakra is about survival. So it's about how do you want to use that energy to live? No? Okay, so then they want me to go to, they said it affects your female hormones. It affects your reproductive system. It affects your, it affects that. Then it says it also causes you to be out of balance with yourself and your sense of self. And you before it was just like ego says, okay, we're used to this, but now you've been healing enough. You're like, oh, I'm done with that shit. I know I can stop that. So you're waking up, which is very good.
How far am I awake? About this much?
You actually come a lot farther than that. It's just that it's hard to measure because you're stages. You're finally, I would say you're finally like in the second stage where you don't have to keep falling back to sleep so fast. How about that? Okay.
I'll take that.
Now, they said that your nerves, you just want to beat the fuck out of him. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yes, I do.
Okay. I mean, because it was like, okay. Now, the injustice in one aspect is how he creates a superior and an inferior energy.
Right.
And your energy that comes out of you says, I believe that I'm inferior because I was poor, or I have this, or I have that when you were little. Okay, so go back.
I have no respect for him at all.
Okay, yeah. Okay. But when you were little, you believed your situation. And that now with your parents and everybody tells you have to be nice to people. You should be nice to people, regardless.
Right.
Okay. The problem is that when you're nice to everyone, now I look at everyone and I see their soul. I'm nice to them. But if they're choosing to use their energy to show up as a dickweed, then I have to look at, do I need to engage in that? Have I passed or failed? Now, if I passed, it's like I don't need to attract them in the first place. But if I see that, is there something else that going to the story? Why do I need to see that? Because I know there's not a reaction. I'm not suppressing it. It's just, interesting. Because you learn how to become a spiritual investigator. To whereas, oh God, fuck, you failed because you can feel your energy just okay,
right,
okay. But the story goes is that you have to be nice to everybody. Now, I was told I had to be nice to everybody and that you had to respect your elders, to the point that I got raped and I had the incest issue. And I was never really told that it's okay to stand up for myself when those bad situations occur. I just was told not to be mean because I beat up my neighbor, which was a little boy when I was 4, because he broke my purple crayon, And my mother, I think, apparently had some mad anger issues because, from the epigenetic line. But from that point, I can't hurt others because that's what I was taught. So if you have to understand what you were taught. Now you have to unlearn and relearn it differently. Yes, it's great to be nice to others. But the moment you feel that that program standing up to you, the question is, do you create a healthy boundary? Do you let it go? How do you do this? Okay. This is where it gets confusing. Your ego is saying that truth that I have to be nice to everybody. I have to stand there and take it because he's my boss. I have to do that because that's what you have to do. Now, having to stand there and take it, you were picked on greatly growing up. You learned that the best way to handle something to some degree was just to stand there and take it. Now, did you believe that because that's what you was taught from your parents? Or did you feel that was the only way to survive?
The only way to survive.
Exactly. Now you're in a completely different arena. You're all grown up. You're not in the same predicament as you were as a kid. You've changed those circumstances greatly.
But I still need to keep my job.
Yes, but you have to understand we changed the chord and then he can zig and you can zag. He doesn't have to, you don't have to have him as the tool or he doesn't have to raise his hand to say, I have to be the asshole.
Right.
There are different people that have such major experiences that when they start to change their thinking and their emotion, that the people that they swear to God, because they're the boss, they'll never leave, the universe will somehow remove them. And you're like, I didn't see that coming. And that's because you're choosing to stop playing and giving your experiences away. It's not that you're trying to do that, you are doing it because your little self says so. So it's to be true. So now we're asking to heal out that I have to take this because I don't want to lose my job. And this is what you've told yourself. And you're going to hold L1D.
Okay.
And you're forced yourself to have to feel that you have no emotions.
Right.
Okay, so hold L1D right now. We'll play. That's what we'll do.
Okay.
That you also begins to drive you mad.
Uh-huh.
All right, feel that madness, that fanatical stuff. Put everything on a scale from 0 to 10. Oh my God, really amp that and ramp that. Oh, that's really good. Yes, there you have, yeah, and you feel that. Yes, that's very good. We're just gonna have, you stay there. That's brilliant. You're doing it. I want you to look to the lower left and listen to that self-dialogue. I'm not repeating some of those words and things.
Okay, good.
Just to let you know, you can have that little bit of a privacy. But notice how you have to talk yourself into keeping the job and how you have to take it and how you have to take that abuse. And again, that's what you saw as a child. Remove,
Okay.
transcend, let it go, let it go. Look to the upper left. As you begin to look at the upper left, notice the images of, what is it, his smug face? What the heck is that image?
Yep.
That's an ugly mug.
It's a smirk.
Yeah, it's ugly. And start to notice which eye are you looking at him with? Left or right?
I was trying to look at the left, but it keeps going to the right.
So look in the right eye. Just ignore that. Look at that right eye. Okay. And I want you to look at that smirk. On a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being, what time is it? What's the number?
11.
Good job. All right. I want you to, I got to notice, look, as you look through the right eye and you look to the lower left, notice your self-talk that you have towards that picture.
That's what I was doing too.
It's yeah. We're going to remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. We're going to take and preserve all the necessary learnings as you do that, as you let it go, switch over to look through the left eye, but this time look down to the lower right through your left eye and feel it. What number is it?
6.
All right. And feel it. And you're like, damn, I feel it. It's not as much bitchy, but you can feel it. Where do you feel it the most? Head, body, where do you feel it?
Heart.
Heart. That's what we're holding. Notice this vibration. Is it quick, fast, slow, hard? What is going on with this vibration? It's like you hear this. Oh, that's right. Remember I heard the strange noise before you got on the show?
Yeah, what was that?
It was a noisy, it's like somebody running the vacuum cleaner or something outside, a little snowblower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You associate this noise with him. He literally sounds like he's making a noise.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Every time he opens his mouth.
Right. And that vibration just grinds on you. Okay, so we're going to remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. As you begin to do that, go back over to the right, and you're going to go into look to the middle left with your right eye. I know this is confusing, but you're getting it. What number do you have of that smirk? What
3.
it sounds like? Ooh, 3. What is it? The sounding like? Does that have a different number?
It sounds muffled.
Muffled.
Like
okay. Good. Good. It's not me. It's okay. It's good. It's different. So it's good. It's better. Good, bad. Good, bad, or indifferent. We just know it's not worse. Amen. Thank you. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Switch everything over to the left eye only. You look at the whole picture. You give me a number.
2.
Good job. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Switch over to the right eye and look through everything through the right eye. What number do you have now?
1.
Good job. Now, while you're there, I want you to hear your ego.
Okay.
I want you to hear the little bitchy statement. I want you to hear that he has power over me. Is that true?
Unfortunately.
Nah, but does he have power over you? He may be the boss.
Only as a boss. Only as a boss.
Right, but take back your energy.
Ah.
Take back your energy. Now you're going to say, thank you, Spirit, for letting me have my energy back and then helping me come in alignment with this boss or another boss without me losing myself.
Right.
There you go. And you're so used to the identity that I have to be nice, that I have to do this because they are in charge over me. That identity, remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. You can totally change it, but I want you to take and look through that right eye, but look to the upper left. Looking at his smirkish ass face, what number does it strike you anymore?
Still a 1.
Okay. And notice that I don't want to be compatible with assholes like that. Notice that choice.
Right.
I never said I never said you had to be compatible with that. I just said that you just need to take your power off that. And as you take your power off that, then he can start to float away. And then the energy comes back into your body, and then you can put out a new energy that says, I'm connecting to something that's higher. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for taking care of the situation. So be it. Because you're like, I can't do it anymore. Thank you, Spirit. Just take care of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you're going to give that power. There you go. So now as we do that, we're just going to take that up, take our power back, and switch eyes. What number do you have?
I don't see anything now.
Good. And which eye was that you're looking through?
Right.
And I'll go over to your left.
About a half.
Half. Good job. Good job. Notice, you're like, I still like giving myself instructions, but can I give myself healthier instructions?
Yeah, healthier.
Yeah. Because right now, the instructions that it has to give is that I have to do everything he says. But if you were to, this is my job, the job entitles me to do certain things, I'm going to do certain things, but I don't have to hear and make him show up to do that to me. I can heal that shit out. I have that much. And then the pain that you believed, which is that half, I want you to go back to when you were 3 years old. And I want you to see what you did towards yourself. And that was that you were overwhelmed. Your overwhelmed feeling. And when you look at that overwhelmed feeling that you get when he does this to you, notice that's the identity you're identifying with. Overwhelmed.
Yep.
There you go. Now look at that overwhelm. Say, do I really need to let that overwhelm manipulate me?
No.
I'm going to just let that go and give myself a set of new instructions. I'm taking my power back from that and letting that go, changing that identity. So remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. And as you begin to do so, when you look towards yourself, you can say, good job, self. changing the energy. Good job, self. And that your new broadcast message is to work and let it go. And we're just going to take our power back. And now when you look through the right eye,
Clear.
when you listen to your ears, do you hear anymore?
Nope.
His lips can move, but you're like, yeah, whatever. And now switch over to your left. What do you see?
Smirky face, but in a cloud.
Okay. Well, how about, is it up close or where is it?
More distant.
Okay. Notice that you gave his voice. You gave voice to that picture. You gave it that voice. Your voice to that picture. See how you gave it meaning?
Yeah.
And what kind of meaning do you think that face is? What kind of meaning did you give this? Besides he's a dickweed, that he has contempt?
Yes. Like a spoiled kid in a sandbox.
Yeah, that's what you remember as a kid. You're like, you know what? You can be that. I'm no judging you. You can be that to everybody else, but I'm no longer playing. So you're just going to take your power back and just feel like you're realigning with spirit. And you're going to plug yourself up to the Christ consciousness. And you're like, I'm ready to realign for something better. And as you do so, you're stopping using your voice and you stop giving it a meaning now. And you're taking your power back. As you do this, the picture, where is it now? Do you need it anymore?
No.
It went, just disappeared.
Right.
All right. How do you feel?
Much relieved.
Hey, take your hand down. Let's look at this. You got on, you're like, you know, we knew it was 11 plus. Can you honestly say you feel that anymore?
No, I don't.
And when you look inside your mind, not just feel, but when you look inside your mind, do you hear the bitching anymore?
No.
No, and I think you can download a new way of communicating with him and your energies will change and just say, okay, we're out of sync. So you can just kind of imagine doing figure eights between him and you in your mind, which means you're going to change that. Now you're going to do one more thing. You're going to grab an imaginary golden white light above your head. You're going to connect it to your heart. You're going to extend it out to this man. And then you say, will you accept this? And what's he say? No? Good. That means there's more shit that you're going to be looking at, another layer, but it may not be with him. Do not take this golden white light. This is a new entanglement cord you're choosing to use. And say, okay, if you need to come at me, you have to approach this one. Leave it there. No matter where he's at, that thing is aimed and he's got to go through that.
Okay.
All right, so be it. Thank you very much for coming on. And you just go pet ghost for me, okay?
I will.
And you keep that beautiful smile because you deserve to have one.
Thanks.
All right, bye, honey.
Bye. Thank you.
Yep. That was good. How you doing, Missy?
She's not happy.
Who?
The little 6 months in the womb baby.
And so how do you know she's not happy? How is she responding to you?
Just kind of coiled or curled away.
Okay, 1 second. Today's show is about being it's Thursday. I didn't change it on the one thing, but it is $23 if you're going to want to come on and to really look at this. Now, some of you are like, but I don't want to be on a video. Fine. Then you can do. Now, when you come on the video, it could be more than 6 minutes, obviously. But if you do want to just do one-on-one, like this and that, yeah, then we can charge 11 for 6 minutes. But this video, this stuff, there is no delay. There's no nothing. You get to heal it. Now, Amy, notice that the little girl exacerbates because she doesn't know how to cope, handle, deal with anything. So it's, because she doesn't know what the hell's going on. So you're going to make sure you hold L1D. Okay? And do we have any more emails? I mean,
Betty is next.
Betty, anything specific?
Just general, please.
Just general. You are improving greatly. You're not the old ways of how you felt about yourself. Just don't hold a candle to you anymore. You're realizing it. And you're noticing that the teacher part of you is starting to come out. And it's like, wow, I want to make sure I get this right. And when you do this, there's a big part of you that's like, dang, I thought I learned that. Ooh, I'll look at that a little deeper. And there you have such a supporting family. You may have not had that supporting family when you were here on Earth, but you got it in spades on the other side now. He says they are rooting for you, sending you love. They have really... I'm excited. I have this joy. Everything's like peace and calm. Everything's like, but you have to heal that you think, yeah, I get that. Part of what I teach people is that you have to understand you're the enemy language. You're the enemy language is how the paradigm says you're in victim consciousness, and how it is taught to you that everybody's the enemy. Shoot first and investigate later. And it's a little bit more than that. And they want you to begin to be aware, because we talked in class about the word always. These are those words, those thinking words that can, the ego just holds on to, and the way the brain, it can only see them. But they are the enemy language. Is that you're meant to have this filter constantly in front of you, is that they're the enemy. They're the enemy. And even though you may be looking at somebody, you have that filter that might still go off. You're looking for bells and whistles just to whether it's okay or not. But it's also part of your superpower in the ego mindset. Dun, dun, dun. But you need to take the power off that and say, I have a superpower much greater and stronger than that one. So when you feel and you catch yourself, they're the enemy. Part of it could be that you're criticizing. Oh, wait. That means that I must be seeing them as the enemy. Or the feeling aspect. It's a habit. Oh, yeah. They want you to understand that you learn through ego to survive the hell that you did was that you had to have haughtiness. But in your body's consciousness, it's wrapped up into this little ball. And it's trying to stay, the ego's trying to keep hold of it. And it's starting to come out, not erupt like a plant and blossom, but it's starting to show itself that you're going to go, oh, I caught you, ego. And now you have a chance to heal it out. So you have to become more aware when you do that. And when you do, they want you to hold L1D and then R2S, because you're like, I'm not falling for you. I'm not going to be oversympathetic. I'm not doing that. I can see you trying to sucker punch me into doing something. I can see, you've got this like guard. But that's where the R2S comes in, because you're like, I am so tired of having that you're more important than me. I'm just so tired of that. Okay. So you're going to learn how to break down that wall that you built, that program you built to survive. But when you heal it out, you're not vulnerable. You heal it out, you get your power back, your natural spiritual ability will start to create a healthier boundary without you even really trying. So you have come a long ways, Miss Betty. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. All right, who's next?
Hey, anything from Spirit Mom?
Ah, mama. Your mama. Your mama's in the house. She's like, what? I'm eating. She's got like crackers and she's like going, what? She's, I'm with you all the time. Can't we just enjoy the show? She's like sitting there with you, watching me, like we're like the biggest TV program. It's my favorite part, woman. You know. So she's like, oh, anyway, she's like, oh wait, you're next. Oh, okay. And she's like, oh God, hold on. She does, you know, she knows she's not going to be seen on camera, but she's now going, aren't I pretty? That's the God. Look at that. Now, egotistically, we would say, yeah, but no, she's just playing. She's having, she goes, there's so many joy moments. Let's have them. Time to put your hair down. She says, I kind of taught you something that I you know, you have to become something you don't want to because out of sympathy. I want you to begin to notice. She says, begin to notice that there's a time to be sympathetic for people, but then there are times people just use that as a tool. And they're like, yeah, I can manipulate people. You know, you could, you know, there's that type. And then there's part of you that knows that there are some people that just need. And you're going to start defining who's draining you, Pilly. She says, that one, that one, that one. But you have to wake up. We can't tell you. You have to wake up because they're not intentionally draining you. You just had to be nice. But you're waking up from a program that says, I don't need to, I can be this beautiful woman and give sympathy and give love. But I can say, you know, and she says the biggest thing is that, you know, you can ego talk yourself through it, but you need to pull the plug on guilt. You need to get it. So EFT will probably be your best friend. Guilt is a have to. And it's forcing you to do something you don't want to do. Guilt can also help you in a certain way to correct you to grow. But this is a little bit more of a manipulation tool. But it's based on that I have to be nice, or this is the best way to be a human. And you need to wake up from that program. So EFT, even though I feel guilty, because you're going to start defining, wait a minute. Do I have to feel guilty, or is that how they want me to be? Oh, that's the only way this person knows how to communicate. So it's not that you're judging. You're looking back going, hey, I got a tool for that. Instead of me fixing it, oh, let me empower you. I got a great website, medicinewomansolution.weebly.com. Look under the healing tools. You need to pick your energy off the floor instead of having to lose it. You be able to hear the difference. Like if you're intentionally being mean, your guilt's going to come back at you and say, did you do that in ego or did you do that in spirit? You know, you can begin to not have to fall for your own programs. You got this, Pilly. She's like, bye. She's going back to sit next to you. She's eating popcorn again or potato chips. I don't know. They look like crackers. Oh, it could, I don't know. Peanut butter also. Yeast. Okay, who's next?
Tammy.
Tammy. Anything specific?
That's what I'm. I'm needing a reading to figure out my love life. I'm also confused right now and just feeling off right now.
Energetically, your ego is telling you. You have to be confused. You have to be off. body clock is saying, oh, we're just doing a program. It's 2:00 in the afternoon and you have to feel like shit. And then there is the program that sets off the circadian rhythms, that sets it all off, all those different rhythms. But when you're in confusion, that means you can have a good state of unraveling. If you are in a confusion, it can be an emotion that's attached. And one of the things that you're saying, I don't want to repeat on a soul level, is that I just don't want to have another relationship where I have to live my life, even though I may not know what the fuck that is yet. I just don't want to live my life their way. And I seem to be choosing people that I give my power away. What would you like to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? You sit down and watch TV and you feel like you have to fight to get a TV, or there is that they whine and they throw their 2-year-ass self into, well, I was watching that. Or I want to. There's a part of you that has to understand that when it comes to relationship, it came in sideways, is that it's safe for you to love, but because it came in sideways, you keep arguing with yourself. No, it's not safe. If I stand up for myself and then they start acting this way, it's not safe. And then yet it is safe for me to love because I need it and I want it. So you're in the middle of a transformation. And if you are in spirit, you're going to be in dark night of the soul. If you're in ego, it is just learning that there's a difference. Now, they said when it comes to relationship, very soon, you're going to make somebody appear. What will those people help you with? They'll help you that, oh, really? So do you have a pattern that all the effort is unreceived? Or that this person doesn't make enough effort? They're showing like several different little things here. Wow, this one too. This could be the one. He may not be the one. That could be part of the confusion. But at the same time, I bet you if I do it again, I'm going to get one of the second. That's what I thought. Okay. You're like I said, in this transformation, it's like walking on a high wire and you're teetering left and right. Either way, you're going to fall, right? So it's learning. This last card that came up was that unrequited love. Am I not getting back the love I want? Or am I not supposed to be too old? So you're arguing with that part of yourself. So let me just put this way. Why is there a state of confusion? Because it's a habit. Why is that? Because you are petrified of really allowing yourself to love the way that you would like to, because you seem to be connecting to people that don't love the same way you do. And therefore you feel this forceful energy that says this is the way love's supposed to be. And you're like, no. Okay. Did you see Vicky's question? Are potato chips and crackers filled with bad carbs on the other side? No, she says that they're a heavenly delight. So that's her answer.
Oh my God, that's too funny.
Yeah, I think I would like a little bit of that salty stuff too there. Okay, what's up? What's next?
Okay, Angie Lewis, and she says, "Hi Brenda, you're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Is regarding my happiness, financial freedom, and healing from this divorce. P.S. I really want to heal others. Thank you so much, Angie."
Okay, that's a lot to say in a minute, but let's look at this. With this divorce, now, it's meant to put you in a crippling energy feeling, because it's like the uncertainty of all of that. You already know this feeling. You already know all that's there. So it's not like I'm saying anything bad's going to happen more. It is just that this is what's happening with you. One of the emotions that came up from you is that the stability has been shaken because you were taught to always be a martyr. And a martyr in this case is that it's like if I want to watch a TV show, but I got the baby's crying, and instead of my husband going to get up, I have to get up and miss the TV show. Now, they're not going to pause it because no, they ain't going to wait. Oh, I gotta watch the show. Fine, shut up. I'll take care of the baby and I'll just miss the show and just watch it later. Whatever. You're giving something up. And this is that particular energy. And so you're learning a couple other things from that. And that is trust, not trust. And you're going to come out of it. You will come out of it because you're learning to say, what about me? But not in the ego sense of, what about me? In a very selfish way. No, you're going to be getting this transformation that says, I need to get out of this profoundly that I have to love and they're not supposed to love me back like I want. I don't have to really believe that. Financial, you are going to realize that when you start to bring money in, you create this self-esteem. Wow, was I that dependent? So you're going to start noticing a little bit more about the qualities and the good value you have. And that people that you had in your space were all about wounded pride, and you had to make sure that and you're like, but wait a minute, I really don't have to, because I do have safety. I've made it this far. And the biggest thing that's going to awaken you the most, I don't have to be an it. I don't have to be treated like an object. I am not. I'm sorry. I'm not irrelevant. I am relevant. And what I do say is relevant to me. You're going to end up finding out that this bitch slap is going to give you your power. You are going to align up with better things. And the money situation is that when you start trusting spirit to bring it to you, instead of worrying cancels, trusting spirit to deliver, showing you how to do synchronicities, because I feel like you're in that synchronicity state, and that you're going to be led to having the ability to notice that, girl, you got traits and you've got the talent and yeah. Now, if you want to heal others, we're doing 5 minutes. I said it the wrong way. Spirit had in a funny little thing there. But if you start off, how do you want to heal? That kind of healer, that kind of healer, this kind of healer. There's so many different types of healers. Yes, I have Reiki. Yes, I have reconnection. Yes, I have about 30 different energy healing modalities under my belt. And then I decided to learn about the body, energy medicine. I wanted to learn about what energy was, acupuncture. You learn how the energies communicate with repulsion and, there's just tons and tons. You decide. Like, I didn't want to be a healer that just was going to predict doom. Yes. A healer helping? Yeah, you're going to use your intuition if you're going to be a healer, because you're going to connect with that person on a soul level. But don't do it with ego. I will tell you that, because you will have a lot of pitfalls. Okay. Lillian says, hi, Brenda. Just wanted to let you know I went. Oh, good. She went for an acupuncture treatment. Felt a lot better, and lady told me that circulation of my right leg was not flowing like you mentioned. In my last reading. Yes, good. Oh, I'm so proud of you. I got a hit, says more. Okay, I feel great. Oh, good. Yes. Got to keep that energy moving. I'm glad you did it, because sometimes you need that. All the tools in the toolbox and sometimes need to be used. So good on you. Now I see you're on a road of recovery, Missy. Yeah, and a couple more of the sessions. I didn't even have to do that. You can also learn how to. Oh, do you need to put that back up? Yes, excuse my leg, but for instance, you can learn how to get, as you start to massage the energy back to your heart, look for the sore spots. And when you start to bring that energy back up to and clean it out, you're going to start creating a circulation that you never knew that it was stagnant. But if you start to really go for the sore spots, you'll start to get healthier and stronger. Okay, next.
Diana, she's wondering if there's anything from her mom.
Our Diana?
Our Diana.
She just is, it's interesting. She's showing me how she's looking at herself as a way to communicate with you. She says, I'm so ashamed. I thought I was doing such a good job of being a mother. Yes, I had a lot of health. But I realized when and she says, and I just don't know how to explain it except for I feel shame. Now, don't worry, she's not torturing herself. She's just trying to help you understand that she's not asking you for forgiveness, but she's showing you that she understands. She watches you. She wants so much to help you to repair. And she says, you're getting there. You're getting there. But I see that I taught you that this is, by not getting enough information, you had ran around coming up with your own conclusions that you end up doing self-abuse. As far as the eating aspect, I didn't realize how much of my criticism you took in. And she says, you believed her because I was your mother. But you internalized everything I said in such great worry that it caused you to have issues on a deeper level with food. And how that you told yourself that I must have low self-esteem because I have body images. I have to have low self-esteem because my mother keeps telling me I have it, or that there is something wrong with it. But she says, I didn't realize how which I don't know why it's two fingers, but how I spoke was causing you. But then she's like, I understand the soul, but it's the actions of how you treated yourself to get my approval. She goes, I want my daughter to heal. She says, please. And I said, okay, L1S, no matter how many times you changed yourself, maybe stopped eating, ate too much, physically abused yourself, whatever way, you kept telling yourself that you have to have that you have low self-esteem. You believed it is your story, and that all of your efforts are constantly unreceived, and that every time you did an effort, you would take 15 steps backwards, not just 2 steps backwards. It's backwards. So you taught yourself that you can't move forward. You can't even move lateral. You have to move backwards. She says, I want her to heal this. So L1S about efforts unreceived. Because every time you made an effort, you looked, it wasn't received because you got another one, another command, another way of the way that she spoke. And she says, and you know how we talk, there's this emphasis, this emotional emphasis. And she says, I'm sorry. She says, but it's a way that I controlled you to get you to do what I wanted. Because I thought I was helping you to raise a fine girl. She says, I look back, man. I don't know what that means. I heard way too many kids. She loves all her kids, but I think she stretched herself a little bit. Okay? So L1S, really focus on the low self-esteem because you believed that marker, efforts unreceived. Here we go again. It's based on the words. It's based on what I see. It's based on looking at the reaction. They're still feeding me that they're not looking at me. They're still feeding at, okay? Hit all of your emotions. Hit all of your sensory system. You do eye accessing, do ear, do physical accessing. Okay, who's next?
Lori M. Am I on the right path where I need to be? What is stopping me from getting there?
You're thinking that you're on the right path, but you haven't got out of your head to get into your heart to get aligned perfectly with your right path. Okay? So when you're just in the head, it confuses you, so you keep feeling like all the doors are shut, slammed. But when you use your heart and your mind and your gut, you will see that the doors are not yours, and you're going to keep walking until you'll see the door, and that it's not going to fail you because all the others are hit and misses because they're not meant for you. Your door is there. So yes, you're on the right track, but you need to include your heart. You need to allow yourself to really notice if you're in congruence. If your mind is, I got to do this, and your heart says, I can't because there's pain, you're going to be incongruent. And I said, okay, so what stops it, because that's what you asked. And that is because there's a party that's petrified. You keep repeating something at 2 years old, and therefore you can't step forward. You need to heal out that you're scared because you told yourself is that I can't do it because I'm not supposed to. So you have a lot of those knots running around. So I'm not able to be me. I have to be something else. So just start addressing and looking at that. It's not about blaming. It's about, oh, so I see where I stopped myself because I'm petrified of really being me because I was told I couldn't be that. It's okay now that you can start to be you. All right, who's next?
Angie B, and she asked a question in the email, but then she was wondering if she could talk to her mom instead.
Gotcha. Okay, the only thing that keeps coming up, it's so interesting because I feel these words are here and it says feeling attacked. And I said, tell me, you? No. Her? No. It is part of the gender that so was your mother, was somebody, okay, an activist, I'm going to say is an activist. Okay. So it's like, if it is a gender thing, understand that there's a lot of pain that, and a belief that you can't. And there's a great panic. So this is a gender code about feeling attacked. What? What? You need to tune in. Something about feeling. Feeling what? Feeling, well, we already said that, a feeling attacked. Go deeper. 3 years old. What about it? A panic was developed because you were scorned. And your heart has been doing this forlorning you've been doing for a while. Oh, she took my eyesight. God darn it. Oh, okay. So it is to change the way you see things. That's the filter. That's why my eyesight's gone. So forlorn is to feel pitifully sad and abandoned or lonely. Now remember, the more you age, sometimes you'll carry it in the body and you're consciously going, I don't know what you're talking about. Or when you're in those quiet moments, you may feel that. She's saying, please, notice it's a strategy. It's like I have to go through all of this before I can allow happiness in my life. And I will tell you, you need to break that strategy. You have to notice that if you're going to I want happiness, you don't have to say, oh, I have to wait for a shoe to drop. I have to wait for bad stuff to occur. You can literally begin to see when bad stuff happens, kind of imagine that you're taking your power off it. You're doing cord switching with these incidences and experiences with people. And if you used EFT while you were looking at, oh, this is what I have to go through to get happiness, you can disrupt the strategy. So even though I have this strategy that I have to see this before joy, you literally can begin to break what she sees. And she says, and then you'll start to change that habit towards yourself. Very good. All right, next.
That's it.
Awesome. You guys have been great. I'll just double check to make sure nobody's paid. And that way so we thank people for coming in and showing themselves. Sharon, that was wonderful. Very important that that you could see a live healing. Very, very important. Okay. And hey, Sue. All right, we'll give you a little quick read.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. All right. So notice when you do the digital thinking, your book is out there, and you want it. You have an expectation, and that's interfering with the expectancy. So this book, you just want Spirit to just show you how you're supposed to plug it, how you're supposed to sell it, how you're supposed to do this, how you don't let ego say, "Oh, look, you didn't make any sales today." Oh, no. You say, "Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. I don't know how to do this, but I'm willing to learn. Show me what and how other people do it and what would be the best one for me." And it's all about learning those steps. Ego says, "Oh my God, you should have known that." No. And Spirit says, "Shh. Okay, no, that doesn't work for me. That don't work for me. Here it is." Okay. And then when you begin to find your voice is going to be the one that's going to sell it. It is going to be your spin and flair that's going to sell it. And it's not that you're doing anything wrong as much as stepping into you. And the more you do, all of a sudden you're going to look and you're going, where'd the entourage come from? Where did all this support come from? Oh, because I became more me. And you have to learn to get and use all of the rest of those styles, not just not just digital. You need to let Spirit use your visual, okay, your auditory, your kinesthetic self. And when I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you, Sue. I mean, what did you do? I mean, it's beautiful written. How long did you take to write it? Is my curiosity. And you wrote it yourself. So, I mean, usually you have to get it edited. You have to do all this, fine job, woman. She goes, I put it out there before I overthink. Good, because as a digital, that's one of the things that can happen. So you've been success, hopefully, yes. And allowing yourself to let it teach you even further. Allowing yourself to take it and get that next part of you, to get all of those perspectives and experiences and maybe of how other people have been using it or a different way. So Miss Brenda, did you want me to do anything here, or because this one is usually different. This is more of a healing one. I mean, they're all healing, but it's trying to form itself into a different healing state. There is Mondays. For me, I do a show on Monday and Tuesday in Australia. Mondays are at what day do I do it on Mondays? 11 a.m. I think.
11. 11 on Mondays, Australian time, which is Sunday night, 6:30 Central, I believe.
Okay.
Or on Sunday nights, and then you do a Tuesday night show your time, which is bright and early in the morning Tuesday here in the States.
So Tuesday is Tuesday for you, but mine's 9 p.m. and yours happens to be at the crack ass of dawn. And and of course this Thursday is the one I do at 1, so yes.
It's Wednesday at 8:30 Central Time.
See, it's always the day before. But yeah, I mean, if you want something, I'm here. Now, the reason why is you got to understand there's a different form of healing. You are getting a different energy field. You're getting the idea of getting the physical more involved with the ability for you to shift your life. I can't even tell you, what is the main difference between Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday? What's the difference between the shows? Because I have a feeling that Spirit, I'm not just a reader. I teach. Now, normally I don't talk. I'm trying not to talk just on Thursdays, but it's about healing. It's about taking it in another step. But at the same time, they all feel the same, but yet somehow they're different. I don't get it. I'm not sure what I see yet.
I don't know either. They are all different.
But I know that I just can't do it like everybody else out there. This is how you find your uniqueness and let Spirit flow through you. Gotcha. Just need to know so I'll be able to pay. Yes. Okay. So this one is the only one at $23, and I usually give you more than 6 minutes anyway, or 8 minutes. I get, I think the last person was 10 minutes. But it's usually getting into the energy of really helping you heal deeply. And you get, I have to sit myself on a different level of energy. Even though I'm in the bandwidth, I have to make not just the mirror work, I have to do the healing on another level so that I can project it right. And that takes more. I don't know how to explain that. I really don't. Because it looks just like the same thing to me. All right. We have Mary Ann Hawthorne. Are you there? Did you want a quick read? Anybody last minute that are here that have not got their reads? YouTube land has been very quiet. I'm looking at YouTube. Anybody there want a quick little read? Anybody in Medicine Woman Solution? Okay. And anybody in just Medicine Woman? So real quick, I'm going to wait a few minutes because of the time delay. Amy, tell me, how is your inner child doing?
Pretty good, I think. What number am I in?
Well, I'll tell you what number you're at, but how's your back?
It's still okay. And normally it would go back into that knot, and that knot is not there right now.
Good. And you are at 0 as far as that heart point you were looking at. So let the energies. Now, anytime you have ever had any healings with me, understand it can be up to 48 to 72 hours that everything gets rearranged and redesigned in your favor because you have decided to heal on a soul level. You have chosen to wake up in such a way that you're willing to let your spirit to become more in charge of your life. And I will get people that will, hi, Marty. Yes. And I will have people that come into my space afterwards and they're like, I don't know what the hell you were talking about, but they'll come back days later and go, oh, holy shit, you were right, blah, 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 blah. But it's the connections you begin to see because your spirit will start to show you that you can trust and heal and grow and have great joy. So within that 72 hours, everything gets aligned, everything gets to be released, everything gets to change. But you get to decide if you want to call back that habit. You get to decide if you want to stay in hell. You get to decide. But that is where you have to wake up and notice the difference between ego mindset and spiritual mindset. You have to learn to train and catch yourself. Okay? So Marty. Okay. To be something, security issue, rejecting my reality. Every time I expand, where does my happy-go-lucky go? Why do I have to feel like there is this type of bully energy? And yet I can almost pinpoint it as an awkward feeling, which then I have to tell myself, give up. Give up on the expectations. Give up on what I want. Because it's a bad memory that occurred when I was 2, it changed me. And that I have to be the enemy. And that my love is always unreceived. Anyways, that's a different type of read, but there you go. That was for you, Marty. Diana says, usually after a session with you, I sleep when I get home, and then the next day I relax. Oh, good. You have to give me an update because you had a really good one when you were here last. Marianne, I don't know if you were there because you didn't say hello again or that you were there. Did anybody else email? Double check. Because YouTube land, you have done it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Remember to always resolve to evolve.
Heal instead of deal.
And you can heal that. And always remember what?
Stay blessed.
That's right, folks. Learning to keep